Good evening. Welcome to the Corporation Township Bushland, July 14, 2026 Committee of Adjustment meeting. Calling the meeting to order. There are two meetings tonight, one being the Committee of Adjustment and a second being Advisory Committee. For the Committee of Adjustment, there'll be one minor variance to consider. And in the Advisory Committee, there'll be one proposed zoning bylaw amendment to review and provide comments to council. Please note that the meeting is video and audio recorded, and all electronic means are uploaded to the municipality's YouTube page. By registering to participate in the meeting by electronic means or consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded and posted on the YouTube channel. Okay, we'll start with our roll call. Kiro Atio.
Present.
Chris Picard.
Present.
Paul Sedgwick.
Present.
Jim McCarthy.
Present.
And I, Councilor Johnson, present as well. So to my right is our Secretary Treasurer Monica Farncombe. And at this time, I don't believe we're going to have a consultant planner for this part of the meeting. We'll have it for the next part of the meeting. Okay, so let's get into our moment of reflection. Thank you. So next item is disclosure of conflict of interest. Really? None? Okay, I like that consent agenda. Please read the recommendation.
That the committee approves the July 14th, 2026 agenda as circulated.
Okay, and the minutes as well. Oh, I see confirmation of John Sawyer instead. Yep, okay, have a mover. Shiro, second, Chris, all in favor? Great. Okay, consent agenda.
That the committee of adjustment approves the minutes from the meeting held on June 9th, 2026 as circulated.
Okay, mover, Jim, second, all in favor? Okay, so after that, so we're going to start the hearing part of the meeting, and the purpose of the hearing is to inform and provide the public with the opportunity to ask questions or express views with respect to minor variance application for us today. And request that you please notify the secretary of the committee by email at planning.ca if you wish to be on record and like to be notified of future hearings and decisions regarding this for the specific minor variance application. Format of this hearing as follows. I will read the application to be heard and ask staff to display the relevant information. Staff will present information report specifically outlining the purpose, summarize the compliance with township notification submission requirements, and outlining staff comments. The applicant will present the purpose and details of the application and further relevant information. From this, the public can obtain clarification, ask questions, express their views on the proposal. You will have a maximum of 10 minutes to speak. Follow this, the members of the committee can obtain clarification, ask questions as well. Now, if a member wishes to add a condition, I will ask for a voter condition. The committee will deliver the application with any approved conditions or measure decision. The decision will be subject to a 20-day appeal period. Okay, so we'll start with 7.1 B13 WIM 60 Jasper Heights PV Township Bushland, requesting relief on new comprehensive zoning bylaw 23-2018 as amended from section 14, table 14.1, site specific special provision number 86 to allow reduced front yard setback of 0.77 meters for an existing shed instead of 2 meters as required. Okay, Monica, please summarize the application, notifications, submission requirements, outlining staff, public comments, agency comments.
The applicant has met all the submission requirements. The application was circulated out to a 60-meter buffer of neighboring properties, and there were no further agency comments or public comments that were not included in the agenda that were received.
Thank you. Okay, Monica, the applicants, I understand, is out of town. Is he available on the
If there's anyone online that would like to speak to this application as the applicant, if you can please use your raise your hand function now. No.
Okay, members of the committee. So we've had this come forward to us twice before. And each time it's come forward, it was, what was lacking was a proper registered survey. So right now we have a survey associated with that, so we can either look at it and go through the process of voting on it or asking it to be deferred. Been here before 2 times and the survey plans are attached to the document, so ask Carol, what would you like to do? Would you like to vote or would you like to defer it?
I'm happy to vote on this application.
Chris?
I would proceed, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so let's go and through the process of either approved or opposed. And please be comfortable that it meets the 4 tests before you approve or oppose it. Start with Carol.
I would approve this
Okay,
application.
okay, Chris,
Approve.
Paul,
Approve.
Jim,
Approve.
and I approve as well. So let's get into the actual wording of the recommendation.
The resolution is unchanged from what was presented in the agenda.
Okay, I have a mover and a seconder. All second, Kim, all in favor. All right, new business none. Staff report, do we have any? No, okay. Let's move to the adjournment. Would you read the resolution?
Yeah, that the Committee of Adjustment hereby adjourns at 7:06 PM.
Okay, I move our seconder, Hero, move second, Chris, all in favor, great, thank you. Okay, let's go to the next part of the meeting. Okay, so this is the Planning and Development Advisory Committee. I'd like to call the meeting to order. As I mentioned before, there'll be one proposed zoning bylaw application for the advisory committee to provide comments to council. So we'll start with roll call again. Hero Atia,
Present.
Chris Picard,
Present.
Paul Sedra,
Present.
Kim McCarthy,
Present.
and Council John Sapoulis, I'm present as well. So let's get to the moment of reflection. Thank you. Monica, would you please read the confirmation of the agenda?
Yeah, that the committee approves the July 14th, 2026 PDAC agenda as circulated.
Okay, a mover, and seconder, from Kim, second by Paul, all in favor? Good. Okay, any disclosure of conflict of interest? No, okay. Let's get into consent agenda. Would you please read the resolution, Monica?
Yeah, that the Planning and Development Advisory Committee approves the minutes from the meeting held on June 9th, 2026.
Okay, mover, Paul, second, Kim, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, and we have no delegations, we have no general interest. The notice of public meeting hearing, Monica, you want to speak up?
That we have a public information meeting scheduled for tomorrow, July 15th at 7 PM here in council chambers for the application D14 MCC at 4539 Victoria Road South.
Okay, thank you. There's no reports, zoning bylaw amendment applications, so. Let's get into this, so let's get through the process, again, I'll reiterate that, the meeting is video and audio recorded and all in person, and the timings are uploaded in Ms. Bell's YouTube page. By registering to participate in the meeting by timings or consenting, have your likeness and comments recorded and posted on YouTube. And then let's start with the zoning bylaw. So I'll read the zoning bylaw application. Okay, it's 9.2.1, D14 MCC, McComb Stephanie, 4539 Victoria Road South, Township of Pussant, for zoning bylaw amendments to amend the Township of Pussant zoning bylaw 23-2018 as amended to rezone the lands from agricultural A and natural environment NE to agriculture A and natural environment NE with a site-specific special provision to permit the proposed outdoor storage of recreation vehicles. Okay, fair enough. So, well, do we have, the applicant or agent?
We have the agent Claire online.
Okay, Claire, can you hear us?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of committee. Can you hear me okay?
Sure, Chris, would you please state your name and add us for the record, please?
All right, very well. My name is Claire Riepman. I'm the planner for this application, and my address is 220 Kempenfelt Drive in Barrie.
Thank you.
My
Correct.
My submission is going to be quite brief. I mean, you have the drawing up before you, and your staff have given you a very good and detailed review of the situation. Basically, this is a small area that is being used for storage of a few trailers and as well a number of little huts, I guess, as you might call them, that are owned by the Rotary Club that use them for their Christmas market in Guelph. The application before you is to zone this very specific area. We had it surveyed right off the bat so that we would know exactly the area that is being involved here. And it focuses on the drip line of the trees around it. I think the only thing that I can really add to what your staff have given you is two things. One of them is that it seems we have a consensus that this application conforms to the official plan. And secondly, when you look at the comments that we have now most recently received, there are no objections to this approval. And so I think that is about the conclusion of my presentation tonight. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that members of the committee may have.
Is our consultant timer online? Jeremy Tree?
Yes.
Hi, Jeremy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Sometimes it doesn't come across very clearly, but I'll do my best.
Well, that's you, Claire. We have our consultant planner online as well. I'm asking if he can hear you, can hear us.
Hi, yeah, I can hear you, Chairman.
Oh yes, Jeremy, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay. All right, so we have this application before us, so we have the planner for the applicant as well as we have our internal planner here, so please feel free to ask questions of either party. So start with you, Carol.
My only question is that I see that there's a comment from the building department about whether the application is going to include the existing sheds on the property as well, or if it's just going to be the RV storage. Is there a conclusion to that question?
For you, Claire?
Okay, I'm not sure that I heard the question perfectly. I think it had to do with the storage, the sheds that are on the property, and those are the ones that are owned by the Rotary Club of Guelph, and yeah, they've been stored there for a while, a number of years, and the intention is to continue storing them. And then, of course, we have also some trailers and recreation vehicles there. I don't know whether I answered the question because I didn't quite hear.
That was my question. Understood. I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Oh. Sorry, don't call me by person.
I've got a number of questions in no particular order, as I try to work my way through the material. How many RVs and sheds are you seeking to place on the rezoned lands, assuming it's approved? There were various numbers in the material as I went through it.
Okay. The number of sheds, don't hold me to this exact number, but I think it is around the 20 mark. But whatever number is on the site now is the number that they would like to maintain. In terms of the number of trailers, that is a little bit difficult to tell you because it depends on how big the trailers are. So in other words, if you had a 40-foot trailer, that would be one number. If you had 20-foot trailers, that would be double that number, I suppose. And that is why we very specifically outlined the area that would be used for the trailers and for the storage. And it's a surveyed line that
Sorry, Claire, lost you.
but we have not actually um, determined what the number of trailers actually will be because it depends on their size. Um, if you wanted to throw a number at it, I suppose you could throw a number of 50, but that would be a bit of a guess on my part.
Thank you. Are there going to be any motorized RVs in that storage zone? Winnebago's casually speaking, or are these all towed trailers?
Yeah, I think the answer to that question is that the vast majority will not be motorized, but there might be the odd motorized unit there, I suppose.
Okay, the reason I ask is that at one point, one of the documents I read said there'd be no fuel stored on site. And of course, the risk is a fuel spill from a motorized unit.
Yes, that's a fair comment. And there will be no fuel stored on site, but yes, absolutely, there might be some fuel left in some of the tanks if there's a motorized vehicle there. I would think that the concern for a fuel spill would be really very remote um, there.
Um, as I drove south on Victoria today, I have seen this before because I do live outside an area of concern, but I can see the storage trailers from Victoria, but there's a comment in I think it's the justification report that says screening isn't required. Well, if I can see them, and recognizing the township zoning bylaw looks for screening, can you explain that contradiction for me?
Um, well, I've driven down there a number of times and I have not been able to see them because they're well back from the road and they're in the bush. So I'm I'm hoping you and I are looking at the same thing.
Oh,
But I
I'm
suppose,
looking at the wrong place.
but I'm supposing
And
if there is some screening required, we could always plant a few evergreens there. Yeah.
And I do know that Ms. McCrone's early comments that were in the package did say they're only visible as you drive south on Victoria Road, so. Want to just hear you confirm, or one way or the other, there's no intention for any kind of recreational vehicle sales or maintenance or occupancy of the units while they're in the storage area. I just say no one is camping out there through the summer. And
Absolutely.
fix you.
Absolutely. It's only storage.
Thank you. All right, bear with me as I just go through my notes, because I made notes as I went and then got answers as the updates happened. I think this is a question of the Secretary Treasurer. The package included the tree permit from the county, but not the site alteration permit. There is a site alteration permit for the site?
They're working through that process at this time.
Okay. There. Meaning they don't have a site alteration permit yet.
Correct.
Thank you. So, keep my color coding correct here. Question for you about the size or the size of the area being rezoned. There are two different numbers in the reports. One is 4620 square meters and one is 6420 square meters. Look at page on the package from the township, page 139 of 179 in the PDFs. Is that a typo? Should it be 4620?
Yeah, it should be 4620. It depends on what you're including and excluding. The driveway up to the storage area is included in the larger number, but the actual storage area, if you will, is 4620.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't see the rationale for the difference. I wondered if it was a transposed number. Do you know if the fire department has agreed that the access road and the hammerhead is adequate?
I don't think I have not heard any negative comment from the fire department.
There was
And
one
it is-
early on, it was insufficient information to judge it appropriately.
I'm sorry,
That's a long-
I couldn't catch that. Sorry. Can you repeat that?
There was an early comment from the fire department that there was insufficient information to judge whether or not the access route and the hammerhead were code compliant. I just wanted to know if you had any later information.
I have not heard any comment from the fire department. When we redesigned it based on their comments, we had we did the fire route as is shown in the hammerhead, and since we have not heard anything further from them, I'm assuming that it's okay. Perhaps we should ask them point blank to ask them to confirm that it is okay, but we haven't had any further comment.
And there is a plan for winter maintenance of that road for emergency access?
I don't know that we need to have winter access here. I think that these units are going to be stored and probably not be touched during the winter.
Thank you. That covers it for me. Thank you.
Okay, well, good questions, thank you. Thank you.
I guess my only question would be, I'm assuming this would be for a business, storing for other
Sure,
people.
first of time.
The fact that this might be for a business, or is it for a business, do anything for, bylaws, zoning, is there any concerns there?
Jeremy, would you like to answer that question?
Through the chair, my understanding is the use would be for profit, and the applicant is seeking to permit that as one of the permitted uses for the outdoor storage of RV, portable shed, as well as 2 shipping container on the site.
Okay, questions. So our zoning bylaw amendments typically provide the number of vehicles to be stored. And it's important that number be provided to staff, because the previous 2 that we one that we approved on Town Line Road has exact number of vehicles, and the one that's going before council tomorrow on Laird also has the exact number of vehicles, so our bylaw amendments have to have the exact number of vehicles, so it's important that be provided. As well as, anything else that's going to be stored in that area. Claire,
Mr. Chairman, I'm quite sure that we can figure out a number for you.
okay, thank you.
Through the chair, if I may add to that, we did ask those questions to the applicant, and Claire, in one of the responses, did provide the number of items to be stored on the site. The number that I had is 40 recreational vehicles, 66 portable sheds, and 2 shipping containers. We have also identified to the applicant that the implementing zoning bylaw, if approved, would have to clearly identify the types of items to be stored within the area and the maximum number of those items. So if the applicant wants to revise those number, we would be looking for clarification in every submission. Otherwise, those would be the number that we would be reviewing.
Okay, I think we could probably live with that. Let me do a little thinking about that between now and tomorrow.
Okay, Claire, your justification report indicates that this has been there for a number of years. How long has it been there before? Like a number of years is a vague number. So 10, 5?
Yeah, it's more than one. I think it may be 2 or 3, something like that.
Okay, Jeremy, question for you. The applicant has stated that all the information's in place and it meets basically the application is complete and all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. In your opinion, is the application complete as to way from all the information you have to date?
Through the chair, the application could be considered complete from a Planning Act perspective, and that's why council has deemed the application complete. In our latest letter, we did provide a number of questions where we are looking for confirmation from the applicant, including the clarification about the types of items to be stored and the maximum number of items to be stored. We also asked for additional analysis when it comes to conforming with the natural heritage policies as well. We are also in discussion with the township ecologist just to understand how do we ensure that the natural heritage features are protected, whether it's through the zoning bylaw or through the holding provision with the site plan application. So there are still some additional issues that need to be worked through.
Okay, so as in your opinion, does it conform the county official plan?
Through the chair, from a natural heritage perspective, the memo provided by the applicant seems to indicate that the proposal would conform with the county OP. We're looking for some additional analysis on that. For the proposed outdoor storage use, the main test for conformity with the county official plan would be section 6.5.5 of the county OP. And that is to demonstrate that the proposed use would be considered small scale. From what the applicant has provided so far, I think it's more or less in line with the other types of application that we've been looking at. However, we're looking for the confirmation from the applicant for the types of items to be stored and the number of items to be stored to ensure that they remain small scale and compatible with the surrounding.
Okay, so does it conform with the township zoning bylaw?
Through the chair, no, the proposal does not comply with the zoning bylaw. So we have identified areas where non-compliances are anticipated, and the applicant has incorporated those into the draft zoning bylaw that would, if approved, would provide zoning compliance for the proposed development.
Great, thank you. Okay, let's summarize the comments that we wish to make to council. start with you, Carol, any specific comments?
No, nothing specific. I think, the majority of, what you guys addressed, and then especially the point about, the specificity of what's actually gonna be, stored, on site, I think is more important. I do agree that from the numbers that were stated after, they kind of differ greatly from what's written in like the documents here. That's like maybe like double or triple. So I think narrowing down exactly what's being stored is just the prime concern.
So can we put that as a comment? So perhaps the wording would be, the proponents should provide the exact number of, RVs, trailers, and sheds. And storage containers.
Can I have that?
Yeah, well, go around the table.
Yeah, no, sorry, that was it.
Okay, go ahead.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
So to pick up on Kira's point, it would be useful to have a diagram that would show how those trailers would be arranged. We're looking at the maximum number, so I recognize if these were 60-foot RVs, you would have far fewer, but if you picked a standard small camper, tent trailer, how many, give us a diagram of how many you could accommodate on that site with however many sheds. Because it was 40 and 24 in the document, as well as 2 sea cans. And I do see that there's a request to include the sea cans in the rezoned area as opposed to requiring them to be close to the house. And I think I would support that request. Other comments.
So let's amend this text statement here, so,
Pardon me.
can we say including, a drawing that shows the location of the above? So,
Yeah.
capture.com.
It would be the maximum count, build the maximum count.
Here.
Other comments, the storage should be screened from the south, either by fencing or vegetation. I phrased that poorly, pardon me. It should be screened so that when driving south on Victoria, you do not see stored items. I would suggest, slow me down, I could maybe. I would suggest that it be very clear that there are to be no RV sales, maintenance, or occupancy in the rezoned area. And by occupancy, I mean you can't live in the trailer. I would suggest the fire department verify that the road, proposed road in Hammerhead meets their requirements.
May I have a comment on that?
Of course,
At least including, accessibility during the winter.
yes. Yes. Fire code does require winter access. I know that the applicant has provided a fuel spill plan, but again, it might be prudent to put it in a bylaw request that a fuel spill plan is provided and maintained. And that just for clarity, that the area being sought for rezoning is 4,620 square meters. Not the 6,420 that was mentioned. I can give you the page references after.
You want that to be one of our comments?
I would make, yeah,
An
so it's very clear what's. Because that 4,620 relates explicitly to a number on that site plan right there on the screen. And sea cans are acceptable in the rezoned area. That would be my last comment.
Oh,
So quick, so I'm assuming that this neighborhood across the street, Old Ruby Lane, a lot of that would have captured it within the notice area. And we got no comments from anybody, just confirming.
No comments.
So I agree with a lot of Chris, like this remaining thing, so I don't have anything else to add.
okay, we've dealt with, two such locations. This is the third one. The report has identified two others on Victoria Road, and I'm sure us driving through the township will notice other ones as well. So my suggestion is, from a buyer perspective, council should consider how to address the numerous other similar non-compliant RV storage facilities through instruments such as the zoning bylaw and new Oak Township OP. This may require putting a hold on any such facilities until addressed. So my concern is we've got this forever and a day, we're gonna be putting everybody through the same process. We either say, yes, we agree, and we adjust the bylaw appropriately, or we say, no, we don't want it, and we say we're gonna not allow it, period. So to me, it's either you legalize it or you don't legalize it, one or the other. So that's my suggested comment here. I don't know if you have anybody.
My only, the thought. Like, so we've had two other ones, and if I could, and I don't wanna speak to those, cause we're speaking on this one, but. Like, this one's across the street from a residential development that's gonna grow, so to me, this is a bit. We can be a little more subjective on certain cases, like the last two, the ones on a pretty commercial road, not a lot around them. And the most recent one on Lair, like there's nothing else around it, there's a gravel pit across, it's a bit of a different scenario. That to me, this one is different from that respect, but.
I'm looking at it from the perspective of agricultural land.
Yeah, I know, from policy perspective, I see, but I think that's why we can't say the yes or the no, because. There's gonna be different locations, the township's so vast and there's a lot of aspects to it. Like there's one beside a residential development and it's next to the middle of nowhere, might wanna. Go right beside the 401 exit with the same criteria, right?
So you're saying you would support the statement?
This one here, like, yeah,
I'm talking in general.
yeah, I won't, personally, I don't think we shouldn't draw the line.
Well, I'm saying we should have a process sometime in the future, for the future to decide what we're gonna do in the future, because this is gonna keep coming at us.
Well,
That's yeah,
what
sorry.
about like suggesting like pursuing like a severance and having a different zoning designation altogether?
Well, that's something like that would have to come through analysis of the zoning bylaw or analysis of, or going through the official plan that we want to provide for the townships. Like, I hear what you're saying. There's all kinds of options available that have to be considered, but they should be considered. You know, you may raise a good point, somebody else may raise a good point. All that stuff has to be considered properly.
Yeah, no, I'm like agreeing with what
Or
you're saying,
say-
in that there should be like a different zoning designation instead of amending the agricultural designation for specific sites.
Okay, so you're agreeing with, we should have something in, reviewed in detail to sort of come up with a plan to deal with all these.
Like you're saying, as opposed to always approving a amendment to agricultural
Yeah.
zoning. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Kim, yeah,
I agree with that.
No, I guess my thought is that to me, that's the function of this committee and the council, so. It's
but
to me,
we're making a recommendation to council.
yeah, so it's going through the process, so
Yeah.
now it's up to us in council to make that decision, so that's.
No, we don't make the decision.
Yeah, we're recommending
Yeah.
our comments to council, right? So my point is though, so there's others that we see, they're non-compliant. We have a bylaw officer, we have a process that they go that route and we can go through that channel if they're not compliant, right? But if somebody applies, goes through this motion, has reports and all that, then it comes through us, there's an open house tomorrow, like they're going through the process. It's ultimately now up to then council, they can decline it. Based on the location, based on the functionality and the landscape and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
That's the way I see it.
Okay, you're looking at a one-off type of thing, and I'm.
Yeah,
trying to-
I think it should be one at a time. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm trying to have a broad approach type of.
I just don't think we can have a blanket. That's just my stance on it. Like, I don't think we can blanket.
Okay, so let's go on the table. Gil, are you okay with, suggesting putting a policy, looking at it in more detail?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, sort of the
Yes.
broader context, yeah.
Yes, I do think there should be something a bit more standardized as opposed to identifying non-compliance and then immediately approving, zoning.
Plus, zoning and.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah, I would recommend council approve this one with the conditions, and I'm sorry to go back, but I'm just checking my notes again. I know the planner is recommending site plan agreement, site plan control, and if I understood Monica correctly, it should be subject to satisfying the site alteration permit. What I would recommend council approve this one, but also then instruct staff to look at the zoning bylaw. I'll put this one up in the longer, probably about year and a half process to assess the broader picture, to avoid people having to come in on the ad hoc one-off basis, which is difficult.
okay, guys are okay with them? Okay, so the recommendation is, the committee, will recommend that council, well, I guess we shouldn't recommend council approving it, we should say. Council should consider approving it, should all the necessary conditions have been provided, have been met. Subject to all various conditions being met. And then a broader statement that council should consider how to address the numerous other similar non-compliant RV storage facilities through the zoning bylaw, through the zoning bylaw or new township OP. And are you guys okay if I say this may require for a hold until this is addressed, or are we gonna continue on?
I would advocate to let this one proceed, but let's try and do it if it's fair, sort of change the rules on folks midway, but so my answer would be no. I would now hold this one, but I think.
Yeah, no,
Any others?
your one is in here already.
Any others? Yeah, you're gonna get held pending. A broader, I think that's a wise thing to do, the broader review.
Okay, so put on subsequent such facilities.
That's it,
On how that's one.
yes, just.
Okay, and council can do whatever they want to say, always agree or not.
But for this one, for the points that were brought up earlier about identifying a site plan, those were the conditions that.
Yeah, I'll have Monica read all the conditions,
Yeah.
Okay, Monica.
Just making sure that we're,
Okay, Monica, let's go through
This
it.
is the first draft.
Okay,
That the committee provide the following comments for council's consideration. The committee requests that the specific number and types of RVs, trailers, sheds, and storage containers to be stored on the property be provided via a drawing/diagram and be included in the zoning bylaw amendment. 2, that the committee requests that appropriate screening be provided going south on Victoria Road.
well, maybe we should say that instead of a request, say, okay, request is fine.
Okay, number 3, the committee requests no RV sales and no occupancy be permitted in the trailers or on the site.
And no maintenance.
Okay, no RV sales, RV maintenance.
Can we change the request to recommend?
Yeah,
Okay, in the both instances, this one and the previous one?
yeah, to, early to do it.
Otherwise, we're not the council.
Okay. Number 3, the committee recommends no RV sales, RV maintenance, or occupancy be permitted in the trailers on the site. Number 4, the committee recommends that the township fire department assess the fire route for accessibility, including through the winter months.
We want them to assess the design of the fire route and the hammerhead. And assess the winter access. It might be more precise way to do it.
That the committee requests that the township, recommends that the township fire department assess the design of the fire route and the hammerhead for accessibility, including through the winter months. Number 5, the committee recommends that if motorhomes are stored on the property, that a fuel spill plan be provided.
I think we should just say, not yet, just say that we have a fire field plan because,
Through you, Mr. Chair, if there's no motorized trailers being proposed, would there still be required?
or if you even have one, you should have.
Yeah.
And this, I just echoing the recommendation from source water protection.
So the committee recommends that a fuel spill plan is provided.
Yeah.
The committee recommends that the area to be rezoned is confirmed and accurately represented in the zoning bylaw amendment.
Yep.
The committee suggests that council consider approving this application subject to all requirements of the application being met. The committee is asking council to consider how to address standardizing new applications for recreational vehicle storage sites on agricultural zone lands, and possibly address this through a zoning bylaw, housekeeping amendment, or new township of Whistler official plan amendment. This may require.
Amendments, so
Okay.
the official, but we don't have official plan, so the new official.
Okay, this may require a hold being placed on new applications for this type of zoning amendment.
All right, so I'll move in a second. Move Carol, second Chris, all in favor? Good, thank you. All right, so on that. Okay, so let's get into the agenda. Okay, staff reports none, correspondence none, new business, nobody, no, okay, adjournment.
That the Planning and Development Advisory Committee hereby adjourn at 7:47 p.m.
Hey, George. Oh, second Kim, all in favor. Okay, thank you. All right, done.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.